quick little presentation that I have for you guys tonight, all about goal setting and why the standard way of setting your goals isn't really beneficial to you, why it doesn't actually work that successfully. And I'm going to give you some hot tips tonight on how I believe you can maximize everything for you. So I am going to get my presentation going and sharing for you guys. Happy for you all. If you want to ask any questions at the end, just save them to the end, and then we'll have our open Q&A and we can go through everything all together there. So can you guys just give me a thumbs up if you can see my presentation? Okay, you can see my page. Cool. All right, so SMART goals, right? So this is what we hear about all the time, whether they're specific, whether they're measurable, achievable, relatable, and time-bound, right? We know this, we've heard it all a million times. But if it was as easy as just doing that, then why don't we actually get there? Why are we not pushing through and seeing the results of those goals? So I want to share with you some of my hot tips on how I feel you can really maximize your goal setting and how you can critique yourself to be more successful around the goals that you want to achieve. So we've got a few points that we're going to discuss tonight: why goals are important, why setting goals works, the brainstorming around setting your goals, the why framework, which is my secret sauce, timeframes, visibility, and getting to the actual work. So why have goals? Essentially, that your goals build your self-esteem. It increases your productivity, helps you focus, it gives you more motivation to succeed, provides you the ability to be more informed and make those decisions. So having those goals really builds on all of those fundamentals for you to actually achieve your goal. So there's 5 basic reasons why setting a goal works. And these are the reasons behind those goals. So goals really trigger your behavior. So having a clear, compelling goal enhances your focus towards actionable behavior. And your goal should be something that really motivates you. If your goal doesn't inspire you, if it doesn't light you up and really make you feel like, yes, this is something I want, then your reasoning behind your goal isn't strong enough and you won't achieve it because you literally, it's not important to you. You're not holding it as a value. So your goals guide your focus. So when you set a goal, you naturally direct your attention towards the next step. And as a result, you're leading yourself into the right direction, which forces your actions. So there's a really old saying of whatever the mind believes, the body achieves. And this is really true. So when you are thinking about something, if you really want those goals to come true, your body will respond in a way that is actually supporting that. So if you know your goals, if you're really being focused on what you want to achieve, your body will work in sync with you to make that happen. And goals create that momentum. So seeing your progress is addictive. So your dopamine is released into your brain after attaining the reward. And that has that snowball effect, which really creates that momentum. And that is really profound when it comes to weight loss. So if you are trying to lose weight, you get on the scales, you see that 1 kilo weight loss or that half a kilo of weight loss, you're like, yes, okay, the hard work is paying off. What I'm doing is actually working and I'm happy to keep proceeding. And that's what creates that snowball effect of your goals really starting to come into fruition. And your goals aligning to your values. This is really super important as well. So the actions that you take or the actions that you avoid, they offer the clues about your values, your beliefs, your challenges, your strengths, your weaknesses, and all of that allows you to course correct and reset your goals as necessary. So if you're setting a goal that really isn't aligning to your value, you're really you're not going to achieve it because you don't really care about it. It's not something that's actually going to spark you or inspire you to do that. And self-mastery. Goals are really great at actually developing your own character, about developing who you are as a person or where you want to go in those future strides. So while the process of goal setting is important because it helps you really unearth and identify what's truly important to you, pursuing your goals builds your self-worth. It makes you feel that you've got this, you really are owning who you are as a person. And I love this saying by Leo, is that mastering yourself is true power. And I really strongly believe that if you feel your goals and your passion so much inside you, then it will be that small snowball effect and it will all really just compound for you. So how do we set the goals then? What is the secret sauce to making it all happen? Basically, we need to start with a brainstorming session. You really need to start thinking this out is into 3 different categories that I think are the top ways of really breaking into your brainstorming session. And that is, who do you want to be? What do you want to do? And what do you want to have? Be, do, have. They're the 3 things to start your fundamental points of going, okay, what do I want to set as a goal? Some people don't know what they want to actually achieve. And it's really important not to edit your ideas around this. Just be really open to what comes out of your mind in that moment and just go for it. Don't work out how the thought got there or why you're thinking along that track. Just write it down. It can sometimes help just to put on a type of music that is really inspiring to you or creative to you. Sometimes it's just absolute silence, which works really well for me as a busy mum. Sometimes when my kids aren't around, it just feels so good to be in silence. So that is a really creative space for me because I just can feel I can really get into that focus. And I'd really suggest that you take at least 10 minutes to brainstorm these topics. So 10 minutes for each. Really sit down for that half an hour. And I know it can feel like, oh, half an hour. I don't have half an hour to do this. But at the end of the day, taking this time to really think about it will pay off, because a lot of the time, the best answers for your brainstorming will come in that last 1 to 2 minutes of your thought process. So you can sit there and you can go 2 to 3 minutes. I can just smash out so many things in these few minutes, and it's so easy to come up with these ideas. But it's not until you sit there in that silence and in that discomfort of that moment to go, what else? What else? And that's the time when those really strong answers and sometimes the biggest goals that you want to achieve will really come out. So take time in the brainstorming session, in that process, and don't rush through it. The next thing that I think is the most fundamental point of really getting to your goals is crunching the why. The why is absolutely everything. So yes, SMART goals are important, and that plays a fundamental role in having that time-bound process set. But if you understand the why, that is the fundamental part of getting to your success. So it's really easy for someone to sit back and go, oh, I want to lose 5 kilos. I want to lose 10 kilos. And then 2 weeks later, you turn around and go, how are you going with that weight loss? Oh, no, it didn't work. I didn't get there. Because if you really sat back and asked that person, why do you want to lose 5 kilos? Most of the time, it has absolutely nothing to do with that weight. It's not actually the number that is driving them. That's not the why. Why do you want to lose weight? Because I want to play with my kids in the backyard. I want to be able to run around with them. And why is running around with your kids important to you? Because I want to be a good role model, because I want to create precious memories. That is actually your goal. Your goal is to create those memories with your kids, or to be able to fit into that dress to look good at your friend's wedding, or that is the real goal. The actual number of the weight that you're trying to lose is irrelevant. That is not going to be enough of a motivator to keep you going. You really need to understand the why. Why is that goal important? Because on the days when it's tough and you want to just eat a piece of cake or go and get Macca's drive-through, they are the days when you can go, I want to be running around with my kids right now. And if I eat that, it's not going to happen. Or if I hit snooze on my alarm clock and I don't get up today and I don't exercise, that's not going to happen. And when you're thinking about those other circumstances that are playing a part of that goal, that is going to drive you to get up out of bed, or to decide not to go through the drive-through, or those types of things. So really understanding the why is 100% fundamental to the goal setting process. Don't rush it. Don't skip out on it. And I really suggest for each goal that you have, you ask yourself why 3 times. Why again? Why is that important? Why do I want that? Because you really need to understand behind your subconscious why that is a driving fundamental part of your goals. Okay. So setting the time frames. This is really important as well. You do need to have time frames around your goals, and you do need to be specific as well. So describing your goal in detail and what does it look like when you have it. So if your goal is weight loss, again, for an example, what does it look like once you have achieved that weight loss goal? Are you buying yourself a new pair of swimmers? Are you wearing something nice? Are you feeling confident within your body? Are you feeling happy as a person? Are you feeling accomplished within yourself? Really understanding what it is that time frame and how you want to achieve it is, again, it's really strong fundamental part of your goals actually coming true. And what will you be saying to yourself? One of the biggest things that we do is self-judgment and self-criticisms. And something that I strongly suggest to my clients is, if you would not say that to your best friend, it's not okay to say it to yourself. We're very easy to judge ourselves. We're our own worst critics, and we can be extremely harsh without even actually recognizing it. So taking that moment to really say, if I wouldn't say it to my best mate, it's not okay to say it to me. That will be really driving you to setting those timeframes and really feeling into that goal and that value. So you need to make it measurable. So when will you achieve it by? And you need to make that realistic as well. If your goal is to lose 20 kilos in a month, that's just not realistic. And if you are able to achieve that, it's not going to be in a healthy way, which, at the end of the day, if you're going to be doing something really unhealthy to achieve your goal, I can guarantee that your mindset's going to suffer from that, because you're going to feel that you're excluding yourself from social situations, or that you're really restricting your life in so many ways that you'll give up on your goal because you feel like you're not having a life because you're trying to achieve it. And again, you're going to be defeating the whole purpose of that happening. And visibility is accountability. I love this saying, and I 100% support it. So if you want your goals to become reality, you need to share it. You need to put it out there to the universe, to your household, to your friends, in support groups. And working with a coach is obviously a great way as well. So whether you write it on a piece of paper and stick it to your fridge, whether you tell your mates next time you're having a coffee, hey, guess what? My goal is to achieve this by this date. And, it's great because next time you see them, they'll go, oh, hey, how are you going with that goal? And that's an accountability measure for yourself as well. It's easy to throw your goals away when no one knows them bar you. So it's easy just to go, oh, well, no one knew that that was my goal anyway. It doesn't matter that I've slipped under that, and I've just gone and got coffee and cake and won't bother about it anymore. So accountability is really a key component of getting to those goals as well. And when you put your intention out to the world, you're more likely to strive for this success, because at the end of the day, we know that people don't care whether we achieve our goals or not. It is really up to us, and they are our goals to achieve. But when we put that intention out, when we make that intention public, we are far more likely to achieve. We really are, because we know it's out there. We know it's out in the world. So now it's time to get to work. And how do we get to that point? What do we do? Start ASAP, right? There's no point in waiting. There's no point in procrastinating and making excuses. It's very easy to go, oh, yeah, we'll make a New Year's resolution. Let's make that happen. And then we go, oh, actually, school holidays. We'll just wait till the kids go back to school and then I'll start. And then, oh, it's Easter. There's chocolate everywhere. I'll just wait till winter. And then, oh, it's winter. It's too cold. I can't get up and exercise. And there sets the framework for another year of procrastination. Okay. So what you need to do is just get in there and start. It doesn't matter if you don't have everything perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. There's never going to be the best time to start. You just have to get in and start doing it. You just need to find the right people around you. So having people that will support you or motivate you is really fundamental to you feeling like, I can do this. I've got the right people around me. And it is really helpful if your family jumps in on board with you. It does make it really difficult if you're on a health and fitness program and you're trying to be really good and your partner sits there with a big packet of chips or goes and gets the ice cream out of the freezer while you're trying to be nice and healthy and not snack of a night. So if you can get your family to help you and support you in that way as well, that really is fundamental to working together as a team and making it happen. All right, so basically, what do we need to do? We need to create our goals. We need to come up with our strategy and really get into action. So the goals are the target. That is what you're aiming for, and that's the way towards the future. Your strategy is the plan, the ideas, the processes that you need to implement to achieve the goals. And your actions is your to-do list. All of the steps of what you need to do to put in place to make the strategy work. What are you going to do each day to make this happen? Okay, so they're the three things that you need to work on. Create the goals, drive your strategy, and make the action happen. Nice and quick. Don't overcomplicate it. Just think it out. Give yourself a maximum of an hour to come up with your goals and get going on that. I would love to help you create your goals. If you have any questions about coming up with your goals or where to start, or if you need someone to really just drill into that why with you, if you're feeling like you can't get to that why period on your own, if you're feeling that you just can't deep dive into that, sometimes it's really helpful just to have someone else to do that drilling for you. So I'm always happy to be that drill into someone. It's very fun hitting those breakthroughs from people. You guys can get into touch with me anyway. Some of you already know me. You're in contact with me often. You can jump onto my website. You guys have got my mobile number and my email address, and I'm always jumping across Facebook, Insta, and LinkedIn. So you can catch me on there as well. DM me on any of those channels, and I'm here to support you. So I am going to stop my screen share now. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to pop them into the chat. unmute yourself, ask me something about goals, ask me something about some sort of fad that's running around on your feed at the moment. If there is anything anyone has to ask, feel free to let me know. Let me help you. Anyone? What's the buzz for this season? I don't even know if I really know what's going on at the moment. I haven't really heard keto coming across, which was massive last year. Any diet crazes, any magic pills anyone's contemplating? The why? Yeah. So the why's really stop you going through. Does that stop you going through the drive-through? I really hope it does. One of my clients is actually a dietitian, and she was going to get her back of her car sign righted with her business name, and she felt that that would stop her going through drive-through because she couldn't fathom the idea of a nutritionist driving through Macca's drive-through. So that was going to drive her why as to not eating some of that junk food. So since we're past in the new year, do you separate these goals you talked about from things like easily thrown away resolutions? I would say, Paul, it kind of goes hand in hand. People feel like the new year is a chance just to reset, to feel a fresh motivation on things. For us here in Australia, it's summer, so that seems to be a lot of a driver as well, because people are then in their bathing suits, in their swimwear, and feeling like it is just a time that you go, oh goodness, okay, I want to reset my body, I want to freshen up over those sorts of things as well. So you don't necessarily need to separate them out, but it is a good time just to be able to sort of centralize everything at the same time. Yeah. And Jenna, how do you plan your meal prep? I find this my biggest weakness that results in poor takeaway choices. Yeah, I think having a solid plan is absolutely fundamental to getting your week to run successfully. For me, it isn't a set process that I go, okay, on Saturday morning, I'm going to write out everything that I'm going to eat for the week. Mine is a little bit more fluid. And for those that already know me, know that I come from a shift working family. So that routine is always up and down for me. I don't have that stability of going, this is our set days and this is what happens. So how do I plan my meal prep? On Fridays, that's my day that I think about what's happening the next week. I map out my husband's shifts, what he's working, what our activities are, and those types of things. And then that forms my shopping list. So once I work out where everyone's doing and what they're doing, I'll think about what we're having for dinner. School holidays now, so you need to think about lunches and all those sorts of things as well. So I think about those things in advance, and I grocery shop to what I plan to cook. Now, that doesn't always happen. I don't always stick to that exact meal that's on the plan, but I'll cook something within a variation of that. So, for example, if I plan to make spaghetti bolognese one night and then I go, you know what, we really just don't feel like pasta, I might just go and make meatballs instead, and we'll have that with salad or something else. So I'm still using that same food that we have, but in a different way. And another really good thing for your meal prep ideas is just creating meals in bulk and cooking up things that you have in the freezer. So cooking something like spaghetti bolognese or like a casserole or a stew, that's really good, especially depending on what time of year it is, something that you can just freeze into those portion sizes. For summer, I really enjoy doing things like a quiche because I can portion that up and cut it and put it into different portion sizes and just have it in the freezer. And if I can't be bothered to cook, if I've had a bad day or my meetings run long and I can't get to cooking what I plan to cook, then it is just something easy and basic like that I'll eat. So I actually find it more inconvenient to have to try and get my kids into the car, go and get some takeaway, then they all want something different. And that actually just becomes more of a hassle than just going, right, this is what we're having. This is what we're having. And it could be something different. Someone could be having that leftover spaghetti. Someone's having a piece of quiche. So it doesn't always flow into a perfect meal prep scenario. But there's definitely always healthier options to choose as well. And I find that's a great fallback if the kids suddenly decide that they don't like something, like when they've eaten lasagna their whole life and all of a sudden they don't like lasagna anymore, and that's something that they just hate, then you're like, okay, well, there's quiche or there's something else that's on the go. Not that I like to kind of promote that, but, just having those options available without having to grab unhealthy choices, I just find that really easy than caving to giving them a bowl of cereal or heating up chips or nuggets or something like that, which I find easier. I hope that answered your question. That was a bit long-winded, but yeah, really got there. So the whole point of everything at this time of year is it is a reset. As much as we would like to hope that that's all going on from the previous year, we all, it's Christmas time, we all overindulge, and that's the point, right? We share love with food, with friends. It's all about like having that switch off time and just relaxing. But there's a point where you need to reset and refocus, and what are you going to do for the year ahead? And that's really important as well. So just having a look over your goals. You may not need new goals. You may need to just refresh the timeframes that you've set around that, or just tweak it a little bit more. But really digging into that why is going to be fundamental to really feeling into that goal setting process and enjoying the process, right? Because we all know that it's not just about the end result, especially when it comes to a health and fitness journey. It's as much about the day-to-day as it is to get to the end result. Because if you're on a weight loss journey, for example, you don't want to be hating every day of your life, restricting food and exercising because you feel that that's just what you have to do. If you don't enjoy it, if it's not fun, if you don't like it, you're not going to stick to it. You really won't. You have to be passionate about it. You have to enjoy it. It has to inspire you. Otherwise, you'll fall off. That's just what will happen. Simple as that. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this session tonight. I'm going to keep it nice and quick. I know it's still holiday season for a lot of people, so I really appreciate you jumping on and supporting my first live Q&A in this public forum. So thank you very much for your time tonight. And if any questions come up after this Zoom or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. I am around and available to help you set your goals and help you reach your health and fitness lifestyle success for 2022. Have to get used to saying that, a new year. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
It was awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. See you later.
Thanks,
Bye.
Simone. All the best.
Bye.
Bye.